and this is a course where I have established Moodle Lessons, and wherever you want you can add an activity, and as you can see there is a lesson selection option here. You can create your lesson number 1, and then you can provide a description. Then you decide on the appearance. If you show the progress bar, if you want to display the menu, you usually do that so that students can navigate between sections. Then you might want to show the ongoing score if you have a progressive grading throughout the lesson. If you want to have questions throughout the lessons, you can want to show that, for example. Minimum grade to display, slideshow. This is the way the slides, the pages, the transition works from one to another. Maximum number of answers per question. The minimum is 4. You can put up to 20 options, multiple choice, and so on. You can have default feedback or specific feedback for each question. Link to next activity, none. So this depends if you want to have another connection to an activity. Availability, here you set the schedule when the lesson would be available. You can also have a deadline, a time limit for each. You can put the password protection. You can allow the lesson to be attempted offline using the mobile application. This is good for students that have the mobile application installed on their phones, for example. Flow control, this allows students to review. Of course, it's yes, at least in my case. Provide an option to try a question again. Yes. Maximum number of attempts. I can put 2 just to give the students the flair of learning from one attempt to another. Grade, here you can, this is where you can set the grade, and this is how I can define a grade related to the system, the Karma participation point system. So as you can see, you can set a participation in the course category, and this will then be calculated automatically there. So in this case, I'll give you 150 points. No grade to pass, so as far as they complete the activity, they will be granted 150 points. Practice lesson. This is important because this will remove the lesson from the grading rubric. So if you want to have a complete control over the lesson, you can put yes, so it will not be accounted into the rubric. In this case, I'll keep it no, so just to show you. Retakes allowed, yes, and then it will tell you if you have retakes allowed, what is the average grade. So how can we consider use a mean, use maximum, or so on. Now, minimum number of questions, it should be 0. You can put more, it depends on what you want to have. Now, this is a common module settings I want to hide from the students for now because I'm working on it. And then restrict access, this is if you want to have additional restrictions. Now, once you completed the setup, you save and display, and this gives you, the dashboard. This is the editing part, so the administrative part of the lesson. As you can see, it's very much similar to other activities in Moodle, like the wiki, for example. And here you can import questions from the question bank. You can add content page. This is the main content information that you can have in every lesson. A cluster of questions or a question page. So in this case, I'll start very, very simply adding a content page, and you can have page number 1, and then you can include page contents, and as you can imagine, you can include text, you can include videos or pictures, you can import directly from other sources, so you can embed videos from YouTube, for example, if you can just copy paste a video here, for example. I'm gonna show you now how to do that. You can embed videos by clicking on this icon and then copy pasting a YouTube URL. You can decide to put, for example, a specific size. I usually put 600 times 400. Title is not necessarily important, but sometimes it's good to have. So video 1. Then you can continue editing, and then as you can see, you can choose different formats. You can use the advanced features of this activity for the page. You can select different font faces, you can select different sizes, you can colors, you can use bold and different in different formats. This is how it appears there's a page title, and then there's some text, and I put another title for the content. There's a video with myself explaining some concepts, some text here, and you scroll down, different videos, different information here. There's a progress bar that shows the content, and then hyperlinks to external references, then additional text, additional information, more specific information on this topic. These are basically video extracts from slides, presentations, and then you advance. So in your own words, what is the main difference between risk and crisis communication? This is an essay type of question. So you just type and then ask the students to submit. Then they can go to the next question. So risk communication should never be validated, risk model knowledge has been improvised, should never be improvised. And you go ahead. And that's correct, of course. Risk communicators in crafting risk messages must ensure that their message power the audience, capture the attention of the audience, reach the audience, convince the audience, provide information. Should provide information and empower the audience, not only capturing attention. So I have one attempt remaining, so as you can see, there's no, I made some mistakes, so you can go and revise. They should provide information, convince. As you can see, that the questions options are shuffled every time and not captured attention. So let's see. Not quite. So I'm getting closer, but not. It's not completely correct. So I advance. I saved my grade. So this is a way for me to review the content, review if there are mistakes or something that is still unclear to the students. What are the what are the basic barriers to effective risk communication? This is another type of essay question. And you will then grade the students according to the answers. And after that, I reach the end of the lesson. Your current grade is 25 out of 100, but this is again relative. I'm not grading the students according to the grade. And when I go back to my normal role, I can go to the reports and I see when the students have completed and what was their score. Again, this is relative. I just considered it as a sort of indicator of performance, not grading their ability to understand some concepts, but I will consider it as a sort of a form of evaluation. Then you have the grade essays, as you can see for each of the items, the essay questions. You can provide a grade and you can review the response. Based on that, you can provide feedback and then you can assign a grade score of 1 or 0, depending if it's passing or failing. And that's basically it. That's a Moodle lesson. The lesson as an activity that is graded, it appears automatically in the grader, in the grade option, in the grade book. And this is where you can go and look for it. So you go to grades, grader report, and you can go to setup. And this is the setup looks like. So for example, in this case, I put the lessons manually, but you can have them listed as an activity, as you can see here, with a specific weight within the category participation in the course. So once the students complete the lesson, will be automatically awarded 150 points in this case. And this is how you set up. As you can see, it's very easy, very clear, and the students who complete this will get the 150 points in total, and they will be this will be automatically weighted according to the rest of the activities.